share screen thing. This is the book, and this is the picture I chose for the book. And I do play a lot of guitar, and when I perform live my poetry, I always have my guitar with me to do work with it. But I find on Zoom it has two problems. The sound is not that good, and you're looking at me. Or if I put the thing down, you look at the guitar, and you have to look at the whole person playing the guitar. So I guess eventually I'll figure out some kind of a system, but I'd love to be able to perform, which I do quite often. Um, so how much time shall I read, David? About?
Uh, 8 to 10 minutes, as you like.
Oh wow, okay, I like that. Okay, so I'll start with one ekphrastic poem from the book, Les Tulipes Noires. They bloom when the sky is dense with stars, when the garden wakes from its abandoned winter, when the black night that covers the earth is misted in transparent light, when the grasses are asleep and deep breathing, and the open fields rise through the land cloud, hovering on the horizon to an infinity of trees. They bloom when the grateful soil has its belly full of spring rain. As they are released, they scream from the terror of birth in the full moon, condemned to carry the darkness which bears the energy of night. And turn to single page. This is the only poem in the collection that I have that's of current uh, ecological concern. Fate, man's fate, train of fate, farewell to the life I knew. I'm but a passenger staring at the ruins, passing dim cities, burnt jungles, parched farms, like a millipede lost on the sand dunes of time. I was in a trance in the style with another age, a rider on a turn of the century locomotive, comfortably reading about the miracles to come, ignoring the signs that warned of doom and evolution to a collapsing atmosphere. We enjoyed such wonders as was never known, only to end in this siege of hurricanes, melting glaciers, and swelling anarchy. Ahead are platforms with populations waiting, their possessions hunched on their backs. They would charge past barbed wire barriers and steal my place to watch the world go by. But the doors are bolted and curtains drawn. Quickly coal is emptied in the tender car, and I am off in clouds of white whistles, a survivor, without dimension, without destination, without hope. Now old and privileged, I try to stay calm, on tracks that never meet and just go on. In the future, there must be a final station, a destination not yet on the map. A window seat, cushions against my back. There's no stop with this chugging to nowhere, as headlines suck the light from the parlor car. Train of destiny, farewell to the life I knew. Here's some recent ekphrastic type poems. I'm just kind of responding in a collection of billboards that I see around me in the Chicago area. This one is from the Panda Garden or something, and it says, Beyond the Original Orange Chicken. The saber-toothed tiger sings. The woke octopus swoons. Whirling dervish wildebeests. Dung beetles in recitative. Poetry that reeks of keef. Red butt baboons. A sushi moon. Stegosaurus playing violin. Beyond the original orange chicken. Giraffes with artificial knees. A gaggle of bees buzz pleasantly. Baobab trees with rainbow leaves, tango jellyfish, waltzing vultures, horny urchins, a witch's brew of prepubescent spider spit, all possible, probable, by definition, beyond the original orange chicken. This was one from an advertisement for Airbnbs with these amazing pools. Skinny dip, red light, naked, alone, unexpectedly floating on a mat in a shallow blue pool that reaches like a jetty into vastness of cool marble promenades, an oasis in another continent where patches of weeds scatter to a parched and lifeless horizon shaded by past fast pink clouds far from the brick-stained skyline. You absorb the dry breeze's scent of cactus flower, immersed with the slightest waving of your hands, like gentle wings to guide you on the tepid water effortlessly in slow laps. Sanctified from the static of traffic, a listless pulse of daily commute, startled by an angry horn, green light, and you are gone. And I think I'll end with this poem. This was written recently. I went to a concert and saw Juan Diego Flores sing. He's probably in the top of the world's greatest tenors today, taking over where Domingo and Pavarotti and Corelli were in the past generation. He's from Peru, and he's quite amazing. If you've not heard of him or seen him, you could just go to YouTube, of course, and get 1,000 different performances. The recital, an exalted stillness in the rigid rows of thousands under the dome of the symphony hall. As lights dim from ornamental chandeliers, the tenor is alone on stage with a grand piano and a pianist, opaque as a shadow. He is an average-sized man, tuxed, fit, and handsome with the altitude of Peru, the collar unbuttoned of his ruffled shirt with the cufflinks which mirror the spotlights. His gaze reaches to the highest balcony, for it is there he must reach. Smiling with lips closed, his head bows to those seated below, who focus on his every move like an angel's trumpet about to bloom. He fills his lung with the soft syncopation of air as lips quiver to allow a vowel, offering a timbre unlike any other, filling the atmosphere with a joyous sadness that grows with tremolo as all eyes shut tight to concentrate on the sense of sound. Nothing else exists in the long recitative. His body becomes a stringed instrument as the piano drizzles notes and bass chords guide his song through changing landscapes of passion from life's suffering and lost loves, till his posture spires and he soars to a long, sustained high C, and our hearts jump out of their cages, breathless in a sacred silence of awe, until we roar into bravos and applause. It is then, in that victorious moment of perfection, so rare and cherished, that we are present to the best and purest voice of our humanity, to share the most harmonious sound of all, ablaze with redemption and hope in the echo of that high note. And thank you for listening.